Hello, and thank you very much for joining us on Testify on Hope TV, where you look and live. My name is Sharon Aitore Wanganye. I believe that the Lord has kept you well and that you're set for another moment of inspiration, a moment where your faith gets to grow. Now, today we meet Margaret Njoki. I got it right, yeah?
Yeah, it's
yes,
Margaret.
Margaret Njoki,
Yeah.
who will introduce herself now. Karibu sana, Margaret.
Okay, thank
You're
you
well?
so much. Yeah, I'm very well.
All right,
God.
let's start with who is Margaret Njoki?
Okay, Margaret is a mother of one, a child, a girl called Blessings Nyambura. I'm a student. I'm a sister. I'm a sister to 3 brothers and a sister to 1 sister. Yeah, and a daughter to a father called Stephen Kenya.
All right.
Yeah.
So how was it growing up, Margaret? You grew up in Kiambu?
Yeah, I grew up in Kiambu, a place called Githunguri. Let me say, generally, life is not easy as we take it. So along the way, it was so smooth and so nice. But when I was joining Form 4, I lost my mother, and it was tough. It was tough having that I have to sit for my exams, and now I have no mother, so I had to keep God at par. Yeah.
Right.
It was not easy.
So we didn't mention if you're born again,
Yeah.
you love Christ.
I got born again on 2014. Actually, that was the time I was completing my campus education. Yeah, that is when I got to know Jesus, and it was good. I grew, nimekuja nikigrow, I've grown, and I think when my child got sick, that is when I got to know who really God is. Yes.
All right. Now let's hear the story of how when your child got sick and what the problem was and how the whole journey is. Okay. That's your testimony today.
Yeah, of
that
course.
The Lord is able to heal.
Yeah.
That God is able to take people through tough situations.
He is a great physician.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Now tell me about that. What happened?
It was about 2016 December when I realized that her health was not good. So when I took her to the doctors, they told me it could be the teething issue. So I nika relax. So we went on and on until 2017. Now around Feb, she's now throwing up.
How old was she at this time?
Around December, she was, let me say, around 9 months.
When she got sick, when you realized that she was not unwell?
Yeah, December 2016. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Around February, March, now I realized that it's not all about teething. There's something bigger. So I went to hospital. First I went to Kenyatta, and they told me that it is nutritional issues. So they advised me on how to feed my child, proteins, vitamins, carbohydrates, those issues. Yani the diet has to be balanced. Mm-hmm. So I went and I tried, but there was no changes. They prescribed for me some tablets, some medicines, but no changes. Actually, she was becoming even worse. So around now April, the situation was even worse. So I decided now I have now to be serious. I went back like 3 consecutive days, starting from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Sunday, I was in Kenyatta in the morning. The same Sunday in the evening, it was around, let me say, 1 p.m. when she started screaming. She was not even, now she could not cry. She's screaming. She was removing a sauti like a cow which is giving birth. It was not a cry. It was like she was in pain, or like there was some pressure somewhere. And I was shocked. I was at my sister's place because it was near Guru Nanak, so I took her there. When I went there, I was shocked because when she was being checked for the mishipas, she could not cry. So I was asking the doctors, what tablets have you given her, because she cannot even sense that she is in pain. Now she was now screaming at some interval, and a scream, and it was like so ikaendelea mpaka the next day. That is when the pediatrician that was supposed to see her came. It was
so you were admitted?
Yeah, we were admitted, but they could not find these veins. Yeah, for the ING injections. So they said they have now to wait for the pediatrician, the head pediatrician, who was not at that time at the hospital. So we waited until the next day at around it was around 5 p.m. And remember, we were on now tulikuwa tumeenda Sunday around 2 a.m. but he came around 5 now the next day.
On Monday?
Yeah, on Monday 5. So when aliona mtoto, now me, I was desperate. I was wondering now what is happening to my child.
The child was still not responding.
She was now sweating on one side, shaking, and she was fixed on one position. She could not turn, she could not respond. She's just looking at you like this. One position from I think 6 in the morning to 6 ya jioni. So when the daktari came, before he came, now those general daktaris, they used to give their general view on what could be wrong. Others insinuated it could be cerebral palsy, but they were not so sure. Others said that maybe it's meningitis. So when he came, when he arrived at 5 and he saw the condition of the child, he said that they will not check the fluid at the back because it could tamper with the brain, because now she's sweating on one side, she's twitching. They used to call it twitching. I think it's a kind of convulsion. She was convulsing on one side. So he suggested, let us just go direct to the medication. They started the medication of meningitis immediately. So
now they've not established that it's meningitis, you say,
but they are now,
but they're speculating it could be.
Yeah, it could be, because they cannot do the lumbar puncture because it will interfere with her brain, and by that time you could see that right and direct the problem was from the brain. Yeah.
All right, then they give her medicine. Does she respond?
She's not responding. So I wait for the first day. The medication was to go for 10 days, so I wait for the first day. She's actually even growing smaller. She's getting worse. The second day, the third day, the fourth day, the fifth, the sixth. And
so all this time were you in hospital, or?
Yes.
So you were admitted for all this while, for the 10 days?
10 days. Yeah. We are still there. I'm still prophesying to her, you're well, I want to see you opening your eyes, I want to see you touch me the way you used to touch me, I want to see you speak to me the way you used to speak to me, I want to see you walk. Every time I confess that, then she even become worse.
So where did this put you as a Christian? At some point did you feel like your faith was growing weaker?
It was shaken, but despite it being shaken, I used to prophesy, I used to confess, because the word is telling me that every time God has given me power and authority over death. So I used to speak against death, and I used to speak for life every time and every moment. Yeah.
So what happened now after the 10 days were over?
After the 10 days were over, there was by there a time that she was dying on my hands.
Why do you say dying on your hands? What happened?
She convulsed. The heart rate was going down. She became cold. So I had to look for the nurses, the medics. So they came. They are trying now to resuscitate her back to life. Me, I'm down to my knees. I prayed for almost 30 minutes. So when I woke up, I just found the medic seated on the bed. Wakisema, she's stable now. She was out of the life, that the resuscitation process. Yes.
All right. Then now, what happens next? It's 10 days, meningitis. imeenda, or is it still there? Was it even meningitis, or is it meningitis?
You cannot even know, my friend. It was terrible. Because now, okay, I once lived with a brother with TB. So they were thinking it could be TB. So they were speculating. Akifanyiwa test ya TB through the cough, they check on the sputum. Hawakuona TB. So they said it could be it has gone now to the brain to be TB meningitis. So they were treating her meningitis and TB. Yeah, and they took a scan and they said that there is a lesion. There is a mass growing on her brain. Yes.
And this was supposed to mean, did they explain what that means?
It was rough. Yes, they told me maybe because of the issue of TB, it could be that it has developed that mass, but there was a lesion on her brain. Yes. So after the 10th day, after 2 weeks, I was discharged now. The bill is piling, no money. So they told me, now the child is stable. You can go home.
Mm. Yes. And was the child stable in your own assessment, in your own thinking?
Yeah, I think she was stable because remember I told you that she was shaking on one side all this time. I think it was the left, the right was just there. Mm-hmm. She's not responding, she's just there, but the left was uncoordinated moves. Yeah.
But by the time you were leaving, now you say that had improved. You thought she was...
Yeah, I thought she was better.
But yeah, we leave it at that. But she thought she was better, but something else happens next. Let's find out what that is after this short break.